So Tara Reade did an interview with Megyn Kelly, man, and she had some bombshell stuff to say. So go ahead and check it out, then we'll discuss.
I want to say, you and I were there, Joe Biden. Please step forward and be held accountable. You should not be running on character for the President of the United States.
You want him to withdraw?
I wish he would. But he won't, but I wish he would. That's how I feel emotionally.
What do y'all think, man? Do y'all agree? Do y'all agree? Should Joe Biden drop out? Look, I personally agree, and I'm going to go ahead and get into why. But I just want to make this point right here, right now. He 100% did something. We don't know if all of the allegations are true. Did he actually sexually assault her? But there is certainly something that occurred here, something that forced her to complain about harassment, be fired, then had her mother call in on Larry King, then complain about the incident, then have her neighbor corroborate it, have a couple of interns who worked with her at the time corroborate it. Then today a court doc came out of when her husband was filing for divorce. He brought up the incident. This is back in '96. They brought up the incident saying, and I quote, "It was obvious that this event," referring to the event that happened with some higher up on the Hill, "that this event had a very traumatic effect on the petitioner and that she is still sensitive and affected by it today." Guys, something happened. Now, they referred to this incident as sexual harassment, but then Tara Reade goes on to describe sexual assault. She perhaps didn't reveal all of those details in these court documents and to everybody surrounding her. She revealed to her neighbor and a couple of the interns and perhaps her mother, but not necessarily everybody surrounding her, because she had immense respect for Joe Biden. That's always what she's maintained, that she's a true blue Democrat, that she has respect for Joe Biden and everything that him and his wing of the party stand for, right? And so it's clear that something happened. Something clearly happened. And sitting here and trying to deny that and saying that, oh, the allegations have no credibility. You know, the Biden campaign released a statement saying, yeah, they have no credibility. Yes, we should take women at their word, but clearly these allegations are false. They're just false. No, absolutely not. When you have a court document corroborating it, when you have her mother calling in on a show at the time that it happened, complaining about her daughter being fired, when you have the neighbor corroborating it, when you have a couple of interns who worked there at the time something happened. And let's not act like this isn't a pattern with Joe Biden, bro. This dude is always has been the rapey guy who comes up from behind and starts kissing on women and massaging them. And clearly it's crossing boundaries by huge margins. It's abundantly clear. Like, would you want some old dude, this powerful guy, to come up behind you and start kissing you on the cheek and you know, doing stuff? No. Of course you wouldn't. If you don't know the guy. Of course, we see this. He has a public record of sexual harassment and inappropriate touching behavior. Imagine what happens behind the scenes. Stop acting like this is completely out of behavior. This is completely, no, never. Joe Biden would never. Stop. Establishment Democrats are such hypocrites. One minute they're all hashtag believe all women, hashtag me too. Then the next they're out here saying, just, oh, these allegations are totally false. I believe Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a champion of women. When it's your ass on the line and you're in contention for a VP pick, talking to Kristen Gillibrand, Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, even Hillary Clinton, all these hacks. Please, get the hell out of here with that stuff, man. Y'all such hypocrites. You're not principled. You don't have a moral bone in your body. Yo, go wherever the political winds blow. When it's Brett Kavanaugh and it's politically expedient for you to be hashtag believe all women, Christian Bosley Ford, you're a hero. And when it's now Joe Biden on the line and you're in contention for a VP pick, yep, you don't have principle, do you? You really don't have principle, do you? So that's that point. I can't stand these establishment Democrats. But then let's get into, should he drop out? Yes. Why are we having this discussion? Yes. He absolutely should. This is a major party nominee, and as Tara Reade brought up there, he's running on character. He's running on his character. Restore the soul of the nation. Let's bring back morals and civility. This is his brand, right? That's the center of his campaign. This is what this guy's running on. And yet you're out here sexually assaulting women? We have credible evidence that you at least sexually harassed one of your employees and then had her fired? Really? Really? But you want to be the moral candidate? You want to act like you're holier than thou, or at least holier than Donald Trump? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. And we're going to say, oh yeah, we should completely allow this to continue on, not like nothing happened. That's ridiculous. And guys, we're acting like we don't have time left. We're acting like he's already been nominated. He doesn't have a majority of the delegates yet. He's at like 1,400 delegates. Like around 1,400 delegates. He needs to get to around 1,900. Guys, it's not over yet. We still have time to put up a new candidate, Bernie Sanders. A guy who doesn't have a credible sexual assault allegation, a guy who can speak, and a guy who actually runs on the issues that the American people care about. The more electable candidate. You have time to anoint a new nominee. It's not over. But as she said, will he drop out? And then second step, will the DNC try to force him to drop out? Hell to the heckity heck no. That's not what's going to happen. They're going to stick by their guy. Because they would rather lose with a man with a credible sexual assault allegation, with a man with a terrible record, a dude who's senile and having cognitive decline. They'd rather lose with him than put up a progressive. Because Bernie and his movement is an existential threat to everything these guys stand for. So why would they ever try to put up a progressive and replace their guy? They're not going to do something like that. They don't give a damn about you or your movement or Bernie or his... They don't care. They don't care. They would rather lose and have Joe Biden go down in a ball of sexual assault allegation flames than have Bernie actually go on and win the election. Because as I said, that's an existential threat to the way that they've been operating. With Bernie at the helm of the party, they're going to have to make some really tough choices about who's funding their campaign and where they're going to put votes. Because then Bernie's going to primary candidates to get their ass the hell out of there. They don't want to deal with that. No, that's too much. The progressive wins. The progressive tie. They can't give him a victory. Hell no. So they're going to stick with their guy and they'll ride or die with it. So that's the way it is, man. But I completely 100% agree that he should drop out. And I believe Tara Reade, man. After all the evidence that's come out, the court doc, you had the Larry King tape, you had people corroborating the story. Of course, something happened. Something clearly happened. I never trusted Joe Biden to begin with. Certainly politically and now personally. So F that guy. I want him to drop out and I want Bernie to be the nominee. That certainly won't happen. They're more likely to make him drop out and put in Hillary. You know, or they wouldn't do Elizabeth. She's too bad for the Wall Street donors. So I'd say they could put in Cuomo. There was buzz about that. Cuomo, Hillary, maybe bring back Pete. You know, there's no way they're going to allow Bernie to take it. Hell no. So we'll see what happens, man. There's a much higher chance that this just goes on and the media tries to bury it, and we'll be back to square.
Chilling with the boys, yeah, we making all this noise. Can't complain, riding in the fast lane. To the top, we don't stop, up till past 5 o'clock. Smoking trees.